Americans will put a monthly fee on literally anything, then call it self-care. No shame, just evidence. This video is 49 of the weirdest monthly subscriptions people in the US are paying for. Tiny conveniences, fake status, and premium nonsense that turns normal life into a recurring bill. If your bank statement could speak, it wouldn't whisper. It would roast you. 1. Pun enthusiasts have apparently decided that free jokes on the internet aren't enough, so they are now leasing magnetic dad jokes for their refrigerators. For a monthly fee, a new high-velocity cringe magnet arrives to torment the household. 1 month it is, I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. The next, it's something even worse. It's essentially a subscription service for eye rolls and family resentment. You're paying hard-earned money to turn your kitchen appliance into a comedy club that nobody wants to visit. 2. If you are too lazy to log into your router settings, you can now subscribe to a monthly Wi-Fi network rebranding service. Yes, actual human beings pay $5 a month so their neighbors see "Pretty fly for a Wi-Fi" one week and "Tell my Wi-Fi love her" the next. The package even includes matching pun-based passwords, which is great until you have to spell out a 12-letter joke to your grandmother just so she can check her email. It is the perfect way to impress the 3 people within signal range while proving you have absolutely too much disposable income. 3. Trivia addicts are feeding their obsession with something called subscription cliffhangers. It works like a hostage situation for your brain. You receive a sealed envelope every month containing the answer to last month's question, along with a brand new, impossible riddle. If you cancel the subscription, you never get the final answer. It is serialized intellectual torture designed to monetize your own curiosity. It's basically like watching a mystery movie, but the pause button costs $19.99 a month and the remote is controlled by a sadist. 4. The suburban warfare over the perfect lawn has officially gone nuclear. Dads are now subscribing to rotating mower attachments that create complex stripe patterns, turning their front yards into crop circles for the homeowners association. We are talking chevrons, spirals, and checkerboards that make the grass look confused and the neighbors look inadequate. The homeowner gets to feel like the Picasso of turf management, while everyone else wonders why he is spending his Saturday afternoon geometrically harassing the dandelions. 5. Apparently, the concept of breaking in your clothes is too much work for the modern era. There is a service where engineers use actual science to pre-distress hoodie sleeves to achieve that specific slouchy thumbhole look. They certify the wear and tear with a hologram and charge you $20 a month for the privilege. You are essentially paying a factory to treat your clothes poorly so you can look like you have been working on a fishing boat for 3 years, while sitting in a climate-controlled office sending emails. 6. In Phoenix, homeowners who are terrified that the sun might actually do its job are hiring succulent caretakers. These are people you pay $35 a month to come look at your cactus, a plant that has evolved over millions of years specifically to survive total neglect. These plant whisperers measure moisture and probably whisper affirmations to the aloe vera. It is the ultimate scam, paying for professional pampering for a prickly pear that would honestly prefer if you just left it alone to die of old age in the next century. 7. If you have a black thumb of death and cannot keep a plastic plant alive, you can now subscribe to holographic desk plants. Tiny projectors beam high-definition images of lush, unkillable greenery onto your workspace. It sounds futuristic until the server glitches in the middle of a Zoom call and your vibrant virtual fern dissolves into a pixelated blue screen of death. There is nothing quite as dystopian as trying to reboot your ficus because your internet connection dropped. Just buy a rock. They are free and rarely require a software update. 8. Los Angeles influencers, the undisputed masters of illusion, are now subscribing to Phantom Leftovers. A courier service delivers perfectly staged, half-eaten high-end takeout containers just so people can take a picture for social media captioned, "Ugh, so full." Once the photo is posted, they throw the props away and microwave a frozen burrito like the rest of us peasants. It is the peak of 21st century despair, paying a monthly fee to pretend you ate a meal you didn't enjoy to impress strangers who don't care. 9. If you feel like your emails are lacking a certain level of unearned authority, you can now pay for subscription bestseller footnotes. This app automatically appends rotating, vaguely impressive citations to your signature block to make you look like a thought leader. One day it says, as referenced in 7 leadership blogs, and the next, it claims you were quoted in a study about corporate synergy. Nobody actually checks the sources because nobody cares, but it adds a layer of academic flexing to your otherwise mundane requests for printer toner. You are paying monthly fees to gaslight your coworkers into thinking you are famous. 10. Retro tech enthusiasts have officially run out of things to spend money on, so they are now renting looping VHS static screensavers. A physical cassette tape arrives in the mail every month featuring unique snow patterns with titles like Blizzard of '93. You have to digitize the analog hiss yourself and project it onto your $4,000 8K television. Your cutting-edge technology is forced to display low-resolution fuzz while silently judging your life choices. It is the ultimate hipster power move, paying a subscription fee to watch absolutely nothing happen in high definition. 11. In a direct rebellion against the convenience of wireless technology, some people are paying for pre-tangled earbud deliveries. A pouch arrives on your doorstep monthly containing a Gordian knot of wires, specifically designed to provide a mindful challenge of untangling. It is described as Zen Buddhism meets electronic frustration. You spend 45 minutes picking apart a bird's nest of cables just so you can listen to a 3-minute song. Or you could just reach into your pocket and use the earbuds you already own, which are likely already tangled for free. 12. You can now inspire, or perhaps annoy, your entire neighborhood with rotating motivational mini billboards for your lawn. Solar panels power the display, which changes weekly to show a new, sickeningly positive quote. One week it is Carpe Diem, and the next it is Hang in There, baby. You become the suburban oracle, dispensing platitudes 1 LED pixel at a time. The Homeowners Association hates it, your neighbors are closing their blinds, but you are paying $19.99 a month to force positivity down their throats whether they like it or not. 13. For the adventurous masochist, there is the Surprise Aroma Club, where monthly diffuser cartridges unleash olfactory mysteries upon your home. It is basically Russian roulette for your nose. One month, your living room smells like freshly opened tennis balls, and the next, it smells like a wet dog drying near a campfire. If you hate the smell, that is just too bad because there are no refunds on experiences. Members call it an adventure in sensory exploration. Their spouses usually call it immediate grounds for divorce litigation. 14. Echo enthusiasts are now leasing bespoke canyon reverberations because shouting in the shower just is not enough anymore. You record yourself yelling something like, "I am the king of the cul-de-sac," and acoustic engineers digitally replicate exactly how that scream would sound bouncing off specific rock formations in Utah. You then play it back on high volume to impress dinner guests with your personalized wilderness acoustics. It costs significantly more than just driving to a tunnel and yelling for free, but at least you do not have to leave the house. 15. If the spark has gone out of your relationship, you can try to keep romance alive with a subscription to random pet name texts. An algorithm sends your partner spontaneous and often bizarre nicknames like Captain Snuggle Muffin or My Little Existential Avocado. It usually sparks confusion, followed by nervous laughter and occasionally genuine concern for your mental health. For $4.50 a month, you are outsourcing your intimacy to a robot that does not understand human emotion, making love get algorithmically strange. 16. Apparently, some people cannot sleep without the soothing, low-frequency hum of a dying appliance, so there is now a subscription for ambient refrigerator drone streams. For $3 a month, you get curated high-fidelity recordings of failing compressors lulling you to sleep. Most people pay repairmen hundreds of dollars to make that noise stop, but here we are, treating engineered noise pollution as a luxury sleep aid. Peace and quiet is overrated. What you really need is the sound of a coolant leak to reach REM sleep. 17. If you are lonely and have a credit card, you can lease an AI-generated imaginary friend. This digital companion texts you jokes, remembers your birthday, and even develops specific personality quirks to keep you engaged. It is the perfect relationship until your payment fails. Then, poof, you are ghosted by your own subscription service. The software deletes its memory of you instantly. It is a brilliant business model where they sell you abandonment issues for a low monthly fee. 18. Deeters with zero willpower are subscribing to emergency pie drone delivery. A blood sugar monitoring app detects a crash or a spike in stress and automatically dispatches a drone carrying a single slice of pie. It parachutes the dessert onto your doorstep with a handwritten note that says, "You deserve this." It is precision-guided comfort food, battling midnight cravings with military-grade logistics. You are essentially paying for a flying robot to enable your bad habits from the sky, which is the peak of modern gluttony. 19. You can eliminate awkward silences at your next dinner party with curated hush moments. Smart speakers connected to the service will randomly mute the background music for exactly 10 seconds, forcing everyone to make eye contact and restart the conversation. It is social engineering via algorithm. It is strangely effective but mostly deeply unsettling when the jazz stops abruptly and everyone is forced to listen to someone chewing a celery stick. You are paying technology to make your friends feel uncomfortable in your own home. 20. Urbanites who miss nature but refuse to leave the concrete jungle are subscribing to city crickets on demand. Rooftop speakers blast synthetic chirping noises, perfectly calibrated to be heard over the sound of police sirens and honking taxis. You drift off to sleep imagining a peaceful meadow while actually lying in a studio apartment surrounded by smog. It is artificial tranquility for people who think camping is a hotel with slow Wi-Fi. Batteries are not included, but the delusion is completely free. 21. Pranksters, or perhaps just deep-seated masochists, are actually paying to have fake parking tickets mailed to their own homes. Every month, a realistic citation arrives for absurd violations like parking too beautifully or exceeding the swagger limit. Recipients display them on their fridge ironically to laugh at simulated bureaucracy, which is a very strange way to cope with trauma. Meanwhile, real meter maids are out there writing real tickets, completely unamused by your expensive attempt at satire. 22. To combat the paralyzing fatigue of choosing a snack, people are subscribing to mystery vending machine credits. A monthly code unlocks one random item from the break room machine. It could be artisanal seaweed crisps, or it could be a suspiciously bright blue candy bar from 1998. It adds a thrill to the afternoon slump until you unlock the unsalted rice cakes. Then it just adds deep disappointment. You are effectively gambling with your digestion, and the house always wins. 23. Networking ninjas are now subscribing to secret handshake tutorials to gain an edge in the boardroom. They stream quarterly videos teaching complex grip and snap routines that look like gang signs for accountants. You practice these moves in the mirror, hoping to find a fellow initiate at a conference. Instead of swapping business cards, your professional credibility now hinges on nailing the double helix knuckle bump. Failure results in extreme social awkwardness and potentially a sprained wrist and a lawsuit. 24. Forget buying a $5 piece of metal. Musicians with more money than sense are subscribing to premium cowbell sample libraries. Monthly downloads deliver crystal-clear, perfectly tuned clangs recorded in artisanal barns by grass-fed cows. It is exactly the same sound you could make with a spoon in a soup can, but it comes with recurring billing and the illusion of sonic superiority. It gives a whole new expensive meaning to the phrase, "I have got a fever," and the only prescription is more cowbell. 25. You can now analyze your own insanity with crowdsourced dream synopsis. A smart headband logs your REM data, and AI editors craft snappy summaries of your nightmares. You receive weekly trailers of your subconscious narratives with reviews attached. One might say, Last night's dream featured high-stakes cheese grating. Rating: 3 out of 5 stars. Sigmund Freud would be absolutely horrified, but then he would probably buy stocks in the company. It is narcissism on a completely new metaphysical level. 26. Snow-deprived Southerners are actually subscribing to virtual driveway shoveling. You strap on a VR headset and use a weighted controller to simulate clearing heavy snowdrifts. You sweat, strain, and feel virtuous about your hard work, all while sitting in your air-conditioned Florida living room wearing shorts. The irony level here is expert. You are paying to experience the worst chore of winter without the benefit of actually clearing a path to your car. It is physical labor cosplay for people who have clearly never slipped on black ice. 27. Fashionistas are signaling luxury by subscribing to seasonal sweater lint. Small glass vials arrive containing genuine fuzz harvested from high-end designer knits. You are supposed to dab this onto your shoulders before brunch to achieve that effortlessly expensive look. You are literally buying pocket trash to impress your friends. Static electricity achieves similar results for free, but it lacks the pretentious backstory and the monthly credit card charge. It is the emperor's new clothes, but fuzzier. 28. You can give your smart speaker a personality transplant with subscription accent packs. One month you hear weather reports in a charming Scottish brogue, and the next you get traffic updates from a laid-back surfer dude. It is marketed as linguistic tourism without leaving your kitchen. In reality, it is just a way to make being told it is raining feel slightly more exotic. You are paying a tech giant to have a robot pretend to be from a place it has never visited. 29. If you are having a midlife crisis but cannot afford a sports car, you can subscribe to mystery transformation boxes. One month delivers temporary tattoos and leather polish to make you feel like a biker. The next month, you get a book on mindfulness and an artisanal kombucha starter kit. It is identity roulette for the indecisive soul. It is certainly cheaper than a Corvette, but the monthly fees add up, and you still have not figured out who you actually are. 30. Influencers seeking authenticity are paying calligraphers monthly fees to handwrite inspirational quotes for their Instagram feeds. Because typing live, laugh, love just lacks that artisanal touch. Meanwhile, actual handwritten letters to grandma remain an endangered species. The irony is palpable. Paying someone $22 plus tax to pretend you have a personal touch. It is manufactured sincerity sold by the square inch to people who live their lives through a filter. 31. Believe it or not, there is a legitimate subscription service for artisanal toothpicks because apparently regular wood isn't good enough for your teeth. For a monthly fee, you receive hand-selected slivers of birch that have been soaked in single malt scotch or infused with sea salt and caramel. You are paying a premium to pick broccoli out of your molars with a piece of wood that has a better liquor cabinet than you do. It is the ultimate flex for people who have absolutely run out of things to buy, but still need to feel superior while performing basic oral hygiene. 32. You can relive the glory days of alphanumeric communication with pager buzz simulators. An app connects to a vibrating belt clip that mimics the urgency of a 1995 beeper whenever designated contacts message you. It makes you feel important, like a doctor on call, but you look ridiculous. You are paying $6 a month to pretend smartphones do not exist while using a smartphone to run the app. It is a complex layer of nostalgia that serves absolutely no practical purpose. 33. Homeowners who want the stony aesthetic without the commitment are now leasing feature boulders. Massive, moss-covered rocks are craned into your yard for a monthly fee. If you miss a payment, the repo man comes with a flatbed truck to take your geology away. It is essentially renting gravity. You are paying hundreds of dollars to have a heavy object sit on your grass, purely so your neighbors think you are geologically prosperous enough to own a rock. 34. Introverts are uniting separately in their own homes by subscribing to Silent Disco for one. Monthly playlists arrive synced to rented LED headphones. You dance like nobody is watching, because literally nobody is watching, and you are alone in your living room. Your neighbors just see frantic, silent strobe lights flashing through the window and assume you're either making contact with aliens or having a very specific type of seizure. It is a party where you are the only guest and the bouncer. 35. In the absolute heartland of artisanal absurdity, discerning drinkers are now paying monthly fees for premium, hand-harvested ice cubes. These are allegedly chipped from mythical, pristine glaciers in remote locations that probably do not even exist. The reality? You are paying for frozen tap water from a warehouse in Ohio, shipped overnight in styrofoam coolers like they are vital transplant organs. Subscribers swear their bourbon tastes smoother and more sophisticated, but that is likely just the taste of their own financial regret. The placebo effect has never been so expensive or melted so quickly. You are literally paying a premium subscription for frozen municipal water that turns back into a puddle in 10 minutes. 36. Forget buying tacky keychains or postcards. Now you can buy canned seasonal air from across the country. Pressurized aluminum containers arrive monthly, promising the authentic, distinct scent of Vermont spring or Maine autumn. You pop the top, inhale deeply for 3 seconds of placebo bliss, and exhale your hard-earned money. The massive carbon footprint of shipping literal empty cans of air across the continent is conveniently ignored in favor of fleeting olfactory nostalgia. Is it genius marketing or is it collective madness? It is definitely both, but mostly it is a scam to see if people will literally pay for the privilege of breathing. 37. Allergy sufferers, or perhaps just aspiring actors looking for a sick day, can now rent sneezes. Smart diffusers release controlled bursts of pepper extracts or pollen analogs, triggering perfectly timed, genuine-sounding achoos. It is the ultimate tool to excuse yourself dramatically from boring quarterly meetings or awkward dates without having to say a word. Plausible deniability is included in the monthly fee, but the antihistamines and tissues are sold separately. It is essentially biological warfare against your own sinuses for the sake of social convenience, and people are actually signing up for it voluntarily. 38. Now you can subject your completely indifferent cat to high culture with interactive opera streams. Lasers synced to the crescendos of Puccini arias are supposed to enrich feline minds and stimulate their dormant hunting instincts. In reality, Mittens ignores the dramatic soprano completely and furiously attacks the laser pointer dot, utterly unimpressed by La Boheme. But you get to tell people at dinner parties that your cat is cultured and appreciates the classics. Is it worth the subscription price? Probably not, but the cat does not have a credit card to cancel it, so the cycle of confused pets and pretentious owners continues. 39. If office morale has sunk so low that even the potted plants look clinically depressed, companies are installing the compliment kiosk. Employees scan their ID badges, and a soulless AI voice dispenses generic praise like, "Your synergy is truly synergistic today, Brenda." Management calls it innovation and employee engagement. The staff calls it immediate fodder for sarcastic Slack channels and a reason to update their resumes. It is automated affirmation because paying managers to actually notice your hard work or give you a raise is apparently too expensive and time-consuming in the modern corporate hellscape. 40. Paranoid dog owners in Dallas are subscribing to a specialized puddle avoidance forecast. A hyperlocal app pings them with real-time sidewalk moisture probabilities to keep their designer doodle's paws pristine. Does it actually work? Of course not. Fido still makes a beeline for every muddy patch in the tri-state area because he is a dog, not a robot. But now, owners can blame faulty algorithms instead of their own lack of leash control. It is a technological solution to a biological problem that does not actually solve anything, except lightening your wallet every single month. 41. If you live in a windowless shoebox apartment that costs half your salary, you can now rent a virtual window view. Wall-mounted 4K screens stream live feeds of scenic vistas, oceans, mountains, or bustling cityscapes to trick your brain into thinking you have freedom. If you want the premium sunset view, That costs an extra $5 a month. You are staring at a television screen pretending it is the outdoors while smelling your neighbor's cooking. Real windows are still free, assuming you can afford a place with actual exterior walls, which is becoming increasingly rare in this economy. 42. Theme park junkies can now experience the absolute worst part of the park at home by subscribing to virtual queue time. You don VR goggles and stand motionless in your living room for 45 minutes listening to recorded crowd noise, screaming children, and loop music. Then the ride abruptly ends before it even begins. You get all the agonizing waiting and none of the thrill for just $9.99 a month. It is a simulator for disappointment and leg cramps, designed for people who apparently miss the sensation of wasting their life standing in a line. 43. A startup now lets you name clouds via a monthly subscription service because naming stars was apparently too permanent. You log in, digitally claim a passing cumulus formation, and receive a printable PDF certificate of ownership. You can brag to your friends about owning Cloud Nebula Kevin. Then you watch Kevin dissipate into nothingness minutes later as the wind blows. It is the peak of ephemeral vanity, proving that if you package it right, you can literally get people to pay for hot air and water vapor that disappears before the transaction even clears. 44. Augmented reality lawn flamingos are now a subscription service for the digital age homeowner. You use an app to populate your yard with virtual neon birds performing synchronized dances through your phone screen. Your neighbors just see you standing on your porch staring at empty grass and giggling maniacally like a local lunatic. For $3.99 a month, you achieve peak suburban Dadaism without cluttering the physical world. The plastic pink flamingos suddenly seem quaint and dignified by comparison because at least they actually exist in 3 dimensions. 45. The confusing world of NFTs meets childhood nostalgia with scratch-and-sniff digital art. You purchase a blockchain token and receive a physical mailed sticker. You have to sniff the essence of pixelated banana to unlock hidden layers in your online gallery. The future smells weird, requires postage stamps, and makes absolutely no sense to anyone over the age of 30. It is a complex, convoluted way to monetize the simple act of smelling a sticker, blending high-tech investing with kindergarten entertainment in the worst way possible. 46. Vengeful suburbanites are skipping the secure mailboxes and subscribing to Decoy Box of the Month. Couriers deliver attractive-looking electronics boxes filled with glitter, beet juice, or spring-loaded spiders. You leave them out, a thief takes them, and you watch the chaos via your doorbell camera. It is a subscription service for petty vengeance. You are paying to litter your own porch with traps, turning your front walkway into a scene from Home Alone just to feel something. 47. Backyard chicken enthusiasts can now lease championship rooster crow ringtones for their coops to impress the neighbors. Smart speakers blast award-winning cock-a-doodle-doos at dawn, fooling the neighborhood into thinking you raise prize-winning poultry instead of 3 confused hens who stopped laying eggs last year. The actual chickens remain unimpressed and continue to cluck quietly. Your neighbors, however, are plotting revenge for the 5 a.m. wake-up call, regardless of whether the rooster is real or a digital recording playing at maximum volume. 48. You can elevate your stargazing experience with meteor shower hype squads. On predicted peak nights, drones deploy biodegradable glitter timed to coincide with actual shooting stars. If clouds block the view, the glitter provides a guaranteed spectacle anyway, simulating the magic of the cosmos with trash. It is essentially paying for cosmic insurance, ensuring your wishes always have a sparkly backdrop, even if the universe refuses to cooperate. It is pollution with a purpose, your momentary entertainment and a great Instagram story. 49. Tired of dodging craters on your commute? Subscribe to Adopt a Pothole. For $10 a month, you get naming rights to a specific road hazard in your city. You receive weekly measurements of its depth and growth charts sent to your email. You can proudly tell your friends, "I own that tire destroyer on Main Street. His name is Steve." It is a dark way to monetize municipal failure, allowing you to feel emotionally connected to the crumbling infrastructure that is destroying your car suspension. That's 49 recurring charges that prove modern life is just rent, but smaller and dumber. Now confess in the comments. What's the most embarrassing monthly fee you've ever paid for, or the one you'd ban instantly if you ran the country? If you stay quiet, I'm assuming you're paying for it right now. Hit like if your wallet felt attacked, and subscribe for more reasons to side-eye America.